Hello, welcome to Flow Show. Sarah DiFelice here, and we have.
Tim Glover here.
And today we're going to talk about getting real. We're going to get real with you and just talk about how change is hard. This is going to be a short show. Tim, would you provide us with an intro?
Thought I'd do for a nice little gentle one.
That's beautiful.
Don't we usually hit the button and goes, and then I come back and I play something?
Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes
that way,
this one, but this is about getting real. So there's no
nothing
fancy. This is straight up.
We've been having some issues with that technology. So like you said, we're getting real. This is straight up. This is just your typical iPhone happening here. Hello there.
Hello there.
So what prompted this theme today, Tim?
Jim. Well, what we realized was that we've been on our journey ourselves, getting an understanding of who we are and then who we are as a partnership. We have demonstrated, I think, rather aptly over the last year that we anticipated some big pandemic like what we have right now. Not a pandemic.
We didn't anticipate a pandemic. We anticipated something.
So panic. Some kind of event that actually creates.
We were calling it a swamp.
Yeah, we were calling it metaphorically a swamp. And the swamp, because we spend so much time as human beings, we've been taught from birth to stay away from the swamp, stay away from darkness, stay away from fear, stay away from getting real. And there's been such a lot of things that have gone on in the last year, and in my personal life, I've got a lot going on, some of which are very delightful, and most of which are very painful, dealing with first family and extended family, and a lot related to health. And it has been a journey to actually navigate that, but also recognize in that the parallel of what most people are dealing with, some form of crisis, and crisis is necessary for us to grow. It's been an observation that I've shared on this show a number of times, and we thought, all right, when we kick this off, let's just turn the camera on. We're fearless, and we're demonstrating fearless, and basically the mechanics that we actually help people understand is how to be fearless. So we demonstrate that. We call it flow, but it's basically how to be fearless in any and all situations, because we create our own reality based on what we focus on. And so the focus up till now has been trying to get an understanding, or a clear understanding, of the value proposition from a business standpoint relative to knowing we're actually, as a society, we're in some form of crisis. Also knowing, as a function of just our own internal knowing and the conversations we've had, that this is not going to be short-lived. This is going to be the new norm. And the power structure that has been in place for basically centuries is now shifting from top down to bottom up. So it's becoming much more accessible, and there's going to be a version of death through that whole crisis as the top-down infrastructures actually lose their control over the population, which is already starting to happen, and we see that reflected in events all over the world. Most obvious, Black Lives Matter, Me Too, Occupy Wall Street,
Save the Children.
There's just
a lot of things happening that are uprooting our structures and even our internal structure and our internal belief systems about what we thought this reality was. And I just was sharing a meme that I saw yesterday with you, that I was going to talk about on the show because it's very relevant. Is in this big pivot, we've been calling it a pivot, and like we said, we've been going through a pivot, and so we've just been doing the show sort of talking about what we're excited about, and we're in this place of now wanting to really connect to the audience, and so this meme and this is the journey that we're going through, because just as the structures are crumbling, also the internal structures of ourselves are
who we thought we
were, and this is the journey that we all must go on. And we see the rise of mental health, and there's going to be just even more rise of mental health. And so to be able to understand that journey inside, that battle that we go through when we transform into somebody new, is something we are all experiencing. And so we've been authentic and getting real as much as we can with our own process. And I've also been going through, huge grief and letting go as well. And so this meme just really spoke to me because I was there yesterday actually, where everyone thinks a spiritual journey, and it's a picture of a woman sitting in a meditation pose looking all very calm, and what it actually looks like, and it's this woman crying like drowning in water with a face. And so we spoke a bit about that last week, but keeping it real is it's hard and it's ugly sometimes, and you feel like you're alone. And
it is mirrored in the metaphor of death. It's a death, and then it's a rebirth. And so intellectually we can share those tidbits, and that's a lot of what we've done is talked on Flow Show up to this point in time about what's going on with us as we are going through our own change and moving into more fearless positions of helping society really get a voice. And it's in contrast to this top-down voice that's been prevalent for thousands of years. What we're looking with the Flow Network is to be able to go and provide a grassroots community voice. And we thought, all right, so we are now going to start looking to have guests. We've had guests on the show before, but it's been difficult because we haven't been really clear in our focus. It's been difficult to invite guests in. And also with COVID,
we weren't allowed to. It was just a rocky time. So we're in this pivot of now really we've got the second season of Flow Responders coming out, which really is about our mission to do this grassroots movement and support creativity and our resourcefulness as humanity, and this platform to act as a place for bridging different communities and all the various wonderful work. Because this is when creating a network, it's our mainstream media is just one of the old structures that's falling away, and it dictating and showing a lot of fear. And really there's a lot of wonderful things that are happening in this rise of people stepping into help be a service to humanity. And so to be able to show some of these members in the community that are doing these types of services, something that we're both really passionate about.
Yes, and I think part of the language that we've struggled with in terms of using a language that's relevant to our proposition, we've been back and forth on that quite a bit, and it's reflected in the shows. And I've had people give me the feedback saying, "Hey, love the quality, love your enthusiasm and your energy, but don't really know what you're about." And and basically, from an audience standpoint, why would I tune in to the Flow Show? So we are spending the next little while, and we've been talking about this for quite some time. Mm-hmm. We want this to be a community, basically to be able to go and help people learn how to be themselves. And that runs contrary. Usually if you're going to do a crochet community, you talk about crochet. Or if you're going to do a political community or a business community or a tech community. So it's the community typically, historically speaking, has been defined, the members have been defined by what your focus is, what your love is. And what this community is about is helping people be outrageously themselves and learn how to be fearlessly themselves.
Support them being fearlessly, because there's a lot of people out there that are doing this, like we said, in the community, and to act as a bridge for in connecting all of these wonderful things that are happening.
Yes, and for a long period of time, a lot of years, I've helped with the business Lightcore, helped businesses transit and grow and change, and that is a very powerful experience and fantastic results, but it is a very, very emotional up and down roller coaster. So what I've come to understand over the years is people appreciate some frame of reference to actually help them anticipate what's happening down their particular road. So on an individual basis, that's a lot easier when we're talking to a guest to be able to go and frame, so how was your journey? How did you get to this particular conclusion? And that's what we've been attempting to do in our back and forth, but I don't know that it's had the impact that either of us has really wanted, because it's also a function of just the changing times and also how we're changing as individuals.
Yes. And I think that's the new leadership, is just being authentic with the change that we are going through ourselves, and to say there is no, the old orientation of leadership is we are all leaders.
Yes.
We are all in this together. And yes, that was our alarm.
That was our alarm.
It short today, but we just wanted to jump in and say we're keeping it real in terms of our growth and what we're going through. And some people call it a dark night of the soul when you go through that inner journey, whether it's on a personal level or a business level. And to have people and a team and community that's been through that is a very powerful thing.
Yes. So
are you going to play us a little outro?
We'll do is there anything else we needed to actually to finish off saying? I mean, I think the piece that has been a very interesting part of our journey is just being able to actually come to alignment on what we see happening out there at the same time as what's happening inside. Myself, and then you and yourself, and then us as a partnership and a team. That is fundamental to the challenge that everybody has, because it is not in our history to actually spend much time on the inner work. It's more about let's actually just rally around some event out there.
Right.
So I think that's what we're looking to share and actually light people up on that particular topic. I can't read that far.
Rome is saying namaste, have a great day. You as well,
yes.
Have a great day. And that's, yes, exactly that. It is about the inner journey, and we've been saying this along the whole time on Flow Show, and all the content is really going inside and discovering who it is we really are, and we are very powerful. And it's been a powerful dynamic, you and I, in terms of the generation gap.
Yeah.
To bring male and female. Thank you so much for watching, and we're very excited on this big pivot.
Yes, we are. This is very fun.
Flow over and out.
Flow over and out.